Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Custom Lobby. I'm JT, and with me today are Justin and Tyler. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? Are you guys ready to talk about today's topic?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm
Ooh, I've been
ready.
We have
looking
some good
forward to this one.
content.
I've been looking forward to this one. I have a more positive outlook on this specific topic than I think both of you guys do, but there's so much to discuss, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this, Justin. And we've talked about it before, but today's conversation is about video game, movie, and show adaptations.
This is probably mine
Um,
and JT's most debated topic, like outside the pod.
yeah, yes, and
Yeah,
I'm
you
there's
guys bring this up casually all the time. Yeah.
all the time, and we have really good, informative discussions about it
Wink,
because
wink.
I'm a little more positive on the matter, but I totally respect Justin's outlook on it. He has many good reasons for his views on it. So, Justin, why don't you share a little bit about your thoughts on video game adaptations in regards to film and TV?
Trigger warning. They're terrible. No. Okay. So for the most part, I personally don't like adaptations in general, not just like video game, but like in the context of video game adaptations to movies, TV shows. We'll get into the deeper details later, but you know, I have a little more leniency for TV shows. I have a whole reasoning for that later on, but for films, bro, I just want them to stop. Every time a new film gets announced, there's like what 4 or 5 of them that got announced, and I'm just like, I don't care. Please stop making them, bro. Please stop making them.
See, I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum because I'm looking forward to them.
Wow.
I'm hoping for the best when it comes to some of these adaptations, but I can understand Justin's, his concern about it considering the history of video game movies, but it has gotten a little bit better in recent years. But Tyler, what are your thoughts on the matter, sir?
So if you would have asked me when I was 10 years old if like, if my favorite video game turned into like a movie, like and a show, like and a live action adaptation, like I probably would have wanted more of it, like just as much as I could possibly get because I love this world, I love the story, I love the characters or whatever. But nowadays I'm kind of more like I wish they wouldn't do it because I think that some stories are probably just better as video games, but that's not
Mhm.
every game. Like, I think
Yeah.
you could definitely create something really good, but it just depends on how they do it. But nowadays, it's hard to tell if it's just like a money grab because they know that like, oh, if we do decent enough, we'll make money, or is it like, they just want to make something good. Like it's more of the it just depends. I don't know that I have like a solid answer either way. Just
You're
because I
basically
also
saying
just
like if
haven't
they are
seen
they
many
banking
of
on
them.
it because it's like guaranteed there's an audience for it, or
Yeah,
are
or
they
is it
making it
because
because
I
they
think
actually care?
I have the yeah, like, do they have the creative vision for it, or are they just, trying to make, money off of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
unfortunate reality is that it's a little bit of both. There's games, or there are movies based on games where you can tell that the filmmakers and the crew are very passionate about them. You can tell, based on
Yeah.
how close it is to the source material, or maybe some of their quotes during press tours or just in interviews. See, you can kind of gauge where some of these people are at in terms of their love for the work that they're doing. And you could say that about pretty much any project, but it's pretty clear as day when it comes to video game adaptations. But there are a lot of video game adaptations on the way. We're going to discuss them a little bit later in the podcast, but there are plenty that we're going to go over. But first, I wanted to kind of talk about some of our favorite video game adaptations, whether it's movies or shows. Do any of you guys want to start us off, or should I get us going?
Well, we all okay. I'm looking at the notes right now, and we all agree on one thing in this whole list, and that's the Fallout TV show.
Yes, sir.
So we could
Yeah.
start there if you want
Yes, that's what.
Let's start
Yeah,
with that, yeah.
yeah. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, I'm a casual Fallout fan. I've played Fallout 3, Fallout 4, 76. I want to play New Vegas. I own New Vegas. I definitely want to get to that before Fallout Season 2. But I have watched the show in its entirety. All of us have watched the show, and we're all fans of it. But that's kind of where I am. Justin's probably the biggest fan of us. You would, I think, none of us would disagree with that. I
Big
think.
Fallout nerd, dude. Big Fallout nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler, what's
Yeah,
your
every
history with
time an
Fallout?
episode came out, yeah.
I would lord down with
What's your
these guys
history?
in the group chat. I
Yeah,
even
Tyler,
do it to
what's
this
your
day.
history with Fallout, sir?
Sorry.
You're chilling.
yeah, I didn't play the games, but I watched the show because it was coming out, and all you guys were saying, it looks good, and I like the show. Like, I didn't really know a whole lot about the games. I just didn't play them, but I could kinda figure things out, and anytime an episode would come out, I like text Justin about it because he loves, like, lore dumping about everything
Yeah.
going on and, like, why this is special or why this is good or whatever, and so we just kinda talk about it. I'd share like, "Oh, it's cool that the way that they did this and da da da," because, as someone who doesn't know really what's going on, I'm, like, kinda learning it through the show,
Mhm.
so I'm not really sure, like, I don't know that I could say it's a good adaptation. I could just say that it's a good show because I never played the games, but, like, I really liked it.
Yeah, dude, that's interesting. I thought you have played a little bit of the games, but you haven't played any of them.
I got through, like, the beginning of 3 and, like, that was it. I didn't, like, actually play the game. I got, like, out of the vault and that was it.
Devin has played the games
Gotcha.
the most, I think, second most.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's played all of them at least, except for 1 and 2.
It's sorry, who?
Devin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I actually watched him play most of Fallout 3 and some of New Vegas, and he was geeking out with me, bro.
That's so funny.
What the
Devin's
heck?
kind
That's
of a
cool.
quiet dude. You talk to Devin and then, our friend, we're definitely going to have Devin on the podcast soon. So hopefully, he's going to have a lot to share about in the fun topic that we'll have him
Does he
guesting
know that?
in. Yeah, we invited him and he said that he's wanted to join the podcast. So it'll be fun to
Okay,
include them,
sweet.
hopefully. Yeah. But Justin, share us your thoughts, my friend, because I know you have a lot of positives, but you also have some reservations, sir. You want to
Yeah,
share some
we'll
of it?
start with the positives, so we'll get into negatives when we get to the whole negative list, I think, but Fallout TV show, dude. Like probably the first video game adapted TV show that was consistent all the way through. Like whether or not I think it's the best thing ever has yet to be determined. Because it hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. We only have the 1 season. And fair warning, later, all of us here have seen it, so there will be like a light spoiler warning for stuff that we got delve into, unless there's some stuff that we haven't seen. But like for Fallout, a big part of my childhood, probably like one of the first PC games I ever got into way back in the day. So near and dear to my heart. And then
Yeah.
the adaptation was like really, really good on the like set design, the character design, the castings were all perfect. The comedy was there. I wouldn't say it was like amazing, but they captured the essence of Fallout. Like almost all of it was great, except for the lore. But I don't want to like deep dive too much into that right now. But yeah, I
But
mean it was
the
good.
humor
It
was
was good.
Fallouty,
It was
right?
just good.
Fallouty.
And they had things in there that were like showing me that they knew what they were doing with the lore. Like they named the airship that the Brotherhood of Steel fly in on is called the Castlewin in the TV show, but it's called the Pridwin in the video games. And if you know anything about King Arthur or the Legend of King Arthur, the Pridwin and the Castlewin are the same thing. That's like originally from like a King
Mm.
Arthur fairy tale. So like when you saw that in the trailer, there was a whole debate of like, is it the same airship or is it a different one? And then people were like, look at this thing here. Oh, they really knew what they were doing, like hyping up the lore fiends in us, bro. So
No,
they
that's
would
pretty
definitely
hype.
respect it, even if they get some of the stuff wrong. They at least have an understanding, and somebody there is guiding the process. You can definitely tell. It's a
Yeah,
great adaptation.
Todd Howard seems to be heavily involved in the project. Bethesda's logo is plastered all over the show. They take a lot of the credit for it, equally as much, if not more so, than Prime Video. What I love about the show is the music, of course, the aesthetic, and how it has that Fallout vibe, like you mentioned, Justin. It is just chef's kiss. Like as a casual fan, like I've played a lot of the Fallout games. I understand the vibe, what they're going for, and the show kind of captures that, I think, really well. Cast, man, the cast is superb. You got some newcomers like Ella Purnell, but then you also have like veterans like Walton Goggins who
The
just
goat of the
kill it.
show.
Yes, dude. Dude, the show
Dude,
does
yeah,
like
he did so good.
they do flashbacks, they do current time, it time jumps from time to time, and in every version he kills it, dude. He's just such a good actor. But Anyways, the second really good video game adaptation that I really enjoyed was the Sonic movies. Tyler, I know you haven't watched Sonic, but Justin, how many of them
No,
have
I
you
haven't
seen?
seen
I
it.
haven't seen
Have you
any.
seen any of
I'm
them?
not a Sonic
You haven't
fan in
seen any of
general,
them.
so I probably will never see them.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yes. So it is actually a really fun watch. And the only reason why I actually got around to watching them was because of Sonic 3. I heard that Keanu Reeves was going to be Shadow. I thought that concept is so awesome. And I love Keanu Reeves. I love the cast for them. I like James Marsden, Cyclops from X-Men, and then Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic. But another thing that made me really want to watch them, even though I'm not like the biggest Sonic fan, is because the filmmakers for that movie realized that they messed up with the original Sonic design and they course corrected it and they fixed it because of the fans. The fans, obviously made it clear that Sonic looked awful, looked scary, looked hideous,
I remember
and they
that.
went back to
I
change it, and
still
it was
can't believe
yeah.
someone made that and was like, "This is a good idea."
We
Like,
bullied
I
them
still
into that,
can't
and then
believe
I remember there was like somebody on YouTube who like remade the trailer in the like the classic
Yes.
Sonic look, and they
Yes.
embarrassed them, and then they were like, "Oh, shoot, maybe we should listen."
Yes.
That was
But
a W from the community for sure.
W
yeah,
from the
that was
community. Yeah. W from the community
and
and
W
W
from
from the filmmakers.
them making it like that, like
Yes,
remaking
They
it.
might have
exactly.
single-handedly saved that
Like,
franchise
rare.
with that move, honestly. Like the fans of Sonic.
Seriously, because they're still cranking out
Seriously.
games, right? They're cranking out games. People are going to the theaters to see Sonic. They've made 3, and they're gonna make a 4th movie. They're very successful in their own right, and people are talking about it more than they have been in years past. And I have to commend them because I watched all 3 movies, and again, as someone who doesn't really play the games, I enjoyed them. They're great family movies. They have good themes and storylines, great action, and the humor is on point for what you'd expect from Sonic. So I'm really pleasantly surprised. I'm happy with all 3 of them, but the third one was awesome. All of them are on Paramount Plus. They have my stamp of approval. But Justin, you want to share a little bit about your second pick?
Yes. It's a movie. The only movie that's live action that I appreciate, and it's Detective
Yes.
Pikachu.
Nice.
I think
I
that
haven't
movie.
seen it.
You haven't seen it.
No, I want to. I wanted to see it, but I
So
haven't.
this is in a funny state because Detective Pikachu was like an original thing, and then because of the success of the movie, they made a game specifically of Detective Pikachu, and it
Yes. Yeah.
was pretty
Huh.
well received. So, I mean, I know Pikachu comes from like a video game franchise. I'm a huge Pokemon fan too, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Obviously, that came from the Pokemon franchise, so it's like it's this weird like loop around where like they were like, let's make an original story with like this special Pikachu that talks. The movie's awesome, JT. You gotta watch it, dude.
I
And
know it looked great.
I
It
like
looked
want to
great. I
talk
just
about
couldn't
it,
get
but now
around
I
it.
can't because you haven't seen it. But
No, you can talk about it, but just be vague. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah, so like the Pikachu is a detective. I will say like there's everything gets explained like why he's a detective, why he talks, because like obviously most Pokemon don't talk except for like some very few minor exceptions, right? And then like just the whole way through it's consistent and it's a good Pokemon movie, and like the CGI wasn't terrible. It actually looked like a lot of the Pokemon looked how I would envision them in real life, like when I was a kid, you know? And so
Nice.
and
Yeah.
they didn't do too much of the nostalgia thing, which like I feel like a lot of video game adaptations try too much to like nostalgia bait you or like pull you in, and then they totally tarnish it. But like with the Detective Pikachu movie, like right at the beginning of the movie, so not super spoilery, like the main character is not actually Detective Pikachu. I forget his name, it's been so long, but he's like he wants to be a Pokemon trainer and like doesn't get to achieve his dream, and now he's just some guy who works job. You know what I mean? Like it's like a guy you can relate to. He's like, I never got to follow my dream and be a Pokemon trainer. Now I just work this mundane life, but like in the world of Pokemon kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
his life gets like changed and turned around, and he gets looped into Detective Pikachu's antics. It's a great time. Honestly, really good movie.
Were you a fan of Pikachu having fur? Because I remember people talking about it and they're like, why does Pikachu have fur? But I didn't see anything wrong with that,
Like
to
if
be
you
honest.
watch the anime, I'm gonna lore stomp the
Oh my gosh.
haters. Pikachu is a mouse. He has fur. Like, come on, guys.
You heard it from Justin.
Even in the
Pokemon
games,
fan.
it literally
Yeah, he's
talks
got
about in the
fur.
games that his whiskers are electromagnetic. Like, come on, guys. It just because
Yeah,
he looks cartoony. Doesn't mean he has fur. You know, so like
correct. And then when
they
he
adapted it
pats him, right?
faithfully.
When he pats it, it seems like there is fur sometimes. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's that. I'm glad. I'm glad. He looked good. Was it distracting that it was voiced by Deadpool?
No, I was about to spoil
Okay.
something. I can't spoil it.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna love it.
Okay. For sure. For sure. Okay. All right. I won't. I won't press
Okay,
on. I
okay.
won't press on. Tyler, what is one video game adaptation that you really enjoy, sir?
So I so S Cyberpunk Edge Runners was awesome. Dude,
Yep.
like, I loved the Cyberpunk game. I was actually one of the few people who got it when it came out and didn't have bugs. Like, I had a very normal playthrough, and everyone was freaking out and, like, tearing it down, and I'm, like, having a great time over here.
My
Um,
game crashed. I remember
and
coming into
then
Tyler's room and watching him play when we lived
dude, it
together.
was awesome. Dude, yeah, and then,
Yeah.
this Edge Runners came out, and I had already been, pretty casual anime watcher, but, I watched it, dude. It was just so good. Like, they took all the great things about the game, like, as far as the world building and, like, the types of characters you could run into, and, like, it was just so well done. Like, it was just so believable. The story was great, the music was oh my gosh. Yeah,
Mm,
the animation style was really unique, and I thought it fit really well with, like, the aesthetics of the Cyberpunk game.
yeah.
Um, like, it's just a solid 10 out of 10. Like, I and it was just so good as it's one season. I don't know, was it like 12 or 13 episodes or something?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
About that much.
it
Yeah.
was just so perfect. One of my very few, like, 10 out of 10 shows.
That's
It was
pretty
Yeah.
high
It
praise.
follows a side cast, and it's technically like it's before the events of the game, but it's not a prologue. It's
yeah.
like its own standalone thing, and just like a little side tangent. I actually think that that's like one of the few correct ways you should do a video game adaptation to not piss
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
fans who are like they have to adapt these characters perfectly. We'll get into that when we talk about Halo.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
exactly.
Yeah.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert, we're not fans. But, yeah, no, that's a
But
very
yeah.
valid point. I really like, how Cyberpunk tells the spin-off story that happens before the game. I found that to be very interesting. Cyberpunk and Fallout, those series we all watched and we all agreed, deserve a lot of praise and recognition, so I'm glad you bring that up. But,
Yeah, dude, it was
Cyberpunk was
I still,
peak.
like,
It's
play
not
that one
only
song, bro,
a
and
great
it's
adaptation,
just
but it is also a very good anime just in general. Like you don't even need to play the games to just enjoy it. It stands
yeah.
on its own.
Like, if the game never came out and that show just came out, I still think it would have gotten just as much recognition.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's
Breaking
just
yeah.
that
good.
good on its own.
No, it's peak.
Yeah.
Those are honestly the best type of video
Mhm.
game adaptations because Fallout, you can kind of say a similar thing. If you've played the games, you're even more hyped.
I
But if
agree.
you
Fallout
haven't,
stands on its own.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
haven't, like Tyler, he enjoyed it and you didn't play the games. So those are the best type of adaptations in my
It's
opinion.
funny.
But
I'd say the same thing about Detective Pikachu. I haven't seen Sonic, but I'm sure you could say the same thing. Like they
yes,
they
I don't
exist
play
in their
Sonic
own
games
realm,
like
and
that.
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah,
crap on anything. It's just like this is
correct.
it. Yeah.
Correct. And
There's a theme here.
similarly, but also a little bit different. My third and final favorite video game adaptations is the 1990s Mortal Kombat movie. And have you guys seen it?
Mortal Kombat.
No.
Yo, that song goes ham.
I listened to that
Oh,
song a lot when we were in middle school, but I'd never seen the movie.
iconic. Iconic. You've never seen the movie?
No.
Okay, maybe that's something we need to watch. Tyler, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Dude, okay, let me tell you guys about this movie, okay? It is absolutely not accurate to the games whatsoever. I mean, I'm sure there's some continuity to the games, right? But clearly it's not 100% accurate. They take liberties. I don't even think it's rated R if I'm not mistaken, just on the top of my head. I've watched that movie a bunch of times, but it is not violent. There's no fatalities. There is a tournament, at least there is a Mortal Kombat tournament, but it's like campy, which granted the games are campy, but it's violent. This is like Mortal Kombat without the violence. But what makes it such
Huh.
a what makes it such a good movie is the characters. Like, they do such a good job kinda showcasing the Mortal Kombat roster. They do a good enough job about talking about the Mortal Kombat tournament and what it means. So, although it has, like, some shortcomings in terms of the cheese, the camp, and the lack of blood and violence, it still has the fighting, it still has the combat, it has the iconic soundtrack, and it's just it understands, like, the Mortal Kombat vibes to a certain extent, and it's also a little bit of a product of its time too. It's so dated, but it's really it's just a fun watch. I mean, I wouldn't take it too seriously if you're a
Huh.
Mortal Kombat fan. Even if you're not a Mortal Kombat fan, it's enjoyable for a '90s flick, but, it has a special place in my heart for nostalgic reasons, but it's not a bad movie.
I haven't seen it, but I would assume like Mortal Kombat. If you just have really good choreography, you can make a somewhat decent adaptation of that. Like I don't see it being like extremely difficult. You know what I mean? Like if you're a fan of
Yeah.
anything that Bruce Lee is in, I'm sure you could enjoy a Mortal Kombat movie. I'm sure they're in the same
Yes.
vein. So
The second movie manages to really make you question how the hell did this get made? But I mean, the first one and the 2018, the 2010s one, that one was okay as well. But that one was
gotcha.
obviously a more serious and violent take. But I honestly enjoyed the '90s one a little bit better, personally. But yeah, Justin, I saw your third one was Cyberpunk. You know, we kind of talked about that
Yeah,
already.
I
But do you
talked
have
about it
anything else?
already.
Have anything else to add to that, or
Dude, Tyler
dude?
didn't really touch on the music too much, so maybe I'll talk about it. Music was just incredible.
Dude,
And it
the
was like
music was so
a
good.
lot of the songs from the anime adaptation got added to the game in post. So like not a lot of people will know that if they're playing Cyberpunk recently. I know JT probably may not have known that because he didn't play Cyberpunk until recently. I don't even know if you played it all the way through, but
I haven't played it all the way through
they
because I
added
played it on
most of the
yeah.
soundtrack to the radio that you can like. It wasn't in the game before. Some of them were and some of them weren't. So it was like, dude, that's so cool. And like they added
That is
stuff from
pretty
the
hype.
anime, like some I don't want to spoil too much, but they added like a certain character's jacket and like all of their signature weapons. Some of them, not all of them, are in the game. So
Yeah,
it's
dude,
pretty
Pretty
that
hype.
sick.
that was so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I played Cyberpunk 2077 when it originally came out. I had some bug issues, not the most game breaking, but I just I wanted to wait until it got fully fixed. And then by the time it did get fully fixed, I moved on to other games. But I definitely want to get back to it since I did watch the Cyberpunk anime at the behest of Tyler and Justin, either earlier this year or late last year, and I really loved it. So I'm glad I didn't, I'm glad I finally got around to it.
Yeah. Peak.
Yeah, and they have the
Um,
DLC for the game now too, which is pretty
yes,
good.
it is pretty good, and I got to get that as well. I own the game, but I don't own the DLC with Idris Elba. Which, dude, speaking of Idris Elba, dude, him and Keanu Reeves, both of them are in the Sonic movies, and they're both in Cyberpunk, and they both stated that they wanted to do like a spin-off movie together in regards to Sonic. But I think they've also talked about how they'd be down to do Cyberpunk.
I
I
am
believe. Don't quote
80%
me that.
sure that the Cyberpunk anime is getting not another season, but like a
Spin-off, I
new
think.
a new spin-off. So for in the
Yeah,
anime,
I think
same,
it's.
been made by the
I,
same studio as
yeah,
well.
and I think it's about one of the characters in that crew, right? I think.
It might be. I have no idea.
But yeah, no, but
Yeah.
if
I don't know,
Idris
I didn't hear
Elba,
about that.
dude, if Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves want to make a spin-off or a video game adaptation, you let those two dudes do it because they're just such legends and they really care about their craft.
For
So
real.
that's for real. Let them cook, bro. Let them cook. It's like money, bro. Money. You'll make money. But yeah, Tyler, what is your last one, good sir? Your last favorite video game adaptation?
My last video game adaptation. So I really liked The Witcher season 1,
Hmm.
and I really liked season 2. Um, I just thought I just love Henry Cavill. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't. And he just did so well with it, and I'm like, as I'm watching the show, I'm learning about the characters, I'm learning about the lore, mostly from Justin.
Let's go.
But, I really liked the show, I really liked the way that they told the story, like, I had to rewatch season 1 twice because I was just like I mean, I guess this isn't really a spoiler anymore, but the way that they do like, they tell it from different timelines, like, throughout the whole 1st season, like, once I figured that out, I was like, "Oh, that is so cool." Like, I just, like, really appreciated the way that they told it. and then I had to, like, rewatch it again because there were things I didn't notice the first time. Um, I thought the casting was just awesome. Like, I just thought they had really good chemistry. I kinda liked, you know, what they were doing, and then I was really bummed, with season 3, and I think Henry Cavill was too because he's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep, we'll get into that. I
but
want to talk about it.
yeah, and so I liked the first couple seasons. I liked the action. I thought the set design and, visually it was just really awesome to look at. I thought the music was really cool. Um, I just was really hooked on like that whole world that I was just like, I'm gonna read the book. I bought the book, I haven't read it, but um,
Yeah.
I just really like those first couple seasons.
Yeah, just so you know,
Yeah.
it's very different from the show. The show did not faithfully adapt the book, but neither did the game. So not a
Yeah,
dog on the game or the show, but it's not the same. You'll
Yeah,
you'll
and
see
it
very very shortly after reading it, but
no, it's actually kind of a pretty good segue actually, because they didn't faithfully, adapt the book or the games, but they fell off so hard from what The Witcher is all about, at
mhm.
least, from what the fans are kind of hoping for. So much so that, like you mentioned earlier, Tyler, that Henry Cavill left the project, and he was quoted saying that he's in it for the long haul. Like because he is a big proponent of adapting like
Faithful adaptation.
faithful adaptations.
Yeah.
He's like a huge proponent of that. He's a fan of the projects that he's a part of. He wants them to be good. He wants them to be accurate to stuff that people love, that he thinks that he loves. And I think it was clear as day that once it started kind of going off the rails and his exit, of
Just
course, he didn't. Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
some
Go ahead, Justin.
history here, just some history to kind of fill in the audience and maybe even both of you if you didn't know. Like the original author of The Witcher, it's a Polish name. I'm never gonna pronounce it correctly, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
originally when he was approached for the video game, like long time ago, he laughed them off and was like, "Children play video games," haha, and then like sold
yeah,
the franchise to them for like a couple grand, like not even that much. And then the games ended up being like a huge commercial success. And then he tried to like get more money out of them after the deal was made. Then they capitulated. Some other stuff went down, and then the TV show debacle, and then Henry Cavill ended up taking the side of the original author, being like, "This is not a faithful adaptation. You guys have ruined my life's work." It was a whole thing, and that was actually
Wow.
like one of the main thing. I don't know. In this case, I mostly tend to I'll just say this right now. I mostly tend to agree with the person who wrote the source material, but in this case, I feel like he was being a little bit of a brat. One of the rare exceptions that I actually think the author of the source material doesn't even respect his own work
Yeah.
as
yeah.
much as
So
his
I
fans
actually,
do. Probably the only
yeah,
one in the world I would critique at the moment.
yeah, I knew about that story, or at least a little part of it. He sold it to CD Projekt Red, and I heard that he kind of sold it for cheap because he didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did. I mean, part of that probably is because he didn't think video games were all that, but also his books
That
weren't
and
like as
it, they're in
huge.
Poland.
Yeah,
We've
correct,
mentioned the
correct.
quote unquote
He's
Euro
a little bit of an
trash
older guy.
in the
Yeah,
past. Yeah, older guy, older gentleman. Sure, he might have some preconceived notions about video games. Also, like CD Projekt Red is actually kind of the reason why people respect Eastern European game companies in the first place, and that's only because of The Witcher, right? So, like at the time, nothing good was coming out of like that Eastern bloc of countries. Or I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna rile up people in the audience who are a big fan of Eurotrash games. Eurotrash is the actual label. I'm not like shitting on the game,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
I'm a fan
Yeah.
yeah.
of like Eurotrash games, like the what is that game that just came out? The new Stalker game
Yeah.
is from the same. It's from Ukraine. It's considered Eurotrash. Escape from Tarkov is considered Eurotrash. You know what I mean? Like, and CD Projekt Red was the one that broke the barrier for a lot of people. So
Correct.
like
Yeah.
And like I said,
they adapted
yeah.
The Witcher, I think, almost perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah. So like I said, I agree with you. But like I said, from what I heard, I didn't know anything about his like attitude or anything, but I do know that he definitely gave them the game, not thinking it would blow up because the books weren't as big as they are now because of the games, right? CD Project Red did a good job adapting the books,
Yeah.
and they made a hell of a game, and then that's kind of what made his name
Hell of
kind
a
of bigger.
series. Not even just once. They did it 3 times.
3 times,
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
about to do it they were gonna attempt to do it a 4th time, and,
Yeah.
yeah, but moving on, we shared some of our favorite video game adaptations. Now it's time to share some of our worst. And one that we all can talk about, that Tyler is excited about, I'm excited about specifically, is the
So
Halo
excited.
series. Dude, the
Oh
Halo
my
series.
god.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
Awful.
Can I
Booty cheeks,
Abomination.
chief.
Booty Cheeks, Master Cheeks in the
I
house.
remember we saw the trailer, we're like, okay, we're hoping it looks good, like visually it looks nice. We all went over to JT's house to watch
Yes,
the
I had a
premiere,
party. Watch party.
and I was like,
I was there
watch
for
party,
that too.
Halo fans in the
Dude.
house already.
I was like, okay, we'll see what we do. And then I'm like, trying to not be too hopeful, but I was like, okay, this random chick, why do we care about her? She's kind of annoying. And then, and then, and then Master Chief took off his helmet, and
Ugh.
I knew it was. I was like, nope. That's all I need to know. I haven't seen an episode since. I just knew enough that they ruined it.
Pedro
I
Pascal,
was
is
not
that
gonna
you?
give it any more of my time.
No. Thank God it
Oh my
wasn't.
God.
I love Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro Pascal, but not Master Chief.
That was a
Oh
helmet.
my
He said
goodness.
helmet take off joke. You know what I mean? I had to do it.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, of course. And how he's in everything. But
Yeah.
even video game adaptations, we'll get on that later. But yeah, no, Tyler, I'm glad you mentioned the watch party. I totally forgot about that. I erased the Halo show out of my mind because
You
just as a
watched the whole thing.
no, I watched the first season in the hopes that it got
Okay.
better. I watched the first
I
season. I
remember
didn't
making fun of you because I was like, I can't believe you're still watching this.
No, because I was gonna see it through. I was gonna see it through. I'm a Halo fan, right? I'm gonna see it through. But I remember so clearly
I
and
feel so
vividly,
bad
like
for you, bro. You were probably like on the edge of your seat, like please, please, and then he's like right up, he's right up at the edge of the screen, and then Chief's booty cheeks like in his face. Oh, God, not again! I got it.
It's worse.
No,
worse.
dude. I remember that watch party, dude. Now that you mention it, dude, it was so funny because we had a lot of Halo fans in the house. Tyler's played the games. I played the games. I've read like the main 3 books by Eric Nealon. I have comics, dude. I have figures. I have statues. I'm a huge Halo fan.
Yeah, dude.
And,
Halo for JT
Yeah.
is like me with everything else.
Yeah, him and
Yeah, dude.
Justin. I was gonna say you and Fallout, bro. That's like me and Halo, dude. I love Halo. And then
Facts.
I was like, dude, I was like, this show has potential. The trailers were deceiving. They showed Chief with his helmet on. They showed Covenant action. They showed you all that you wanted. And then the show, what do they give you? They give you a helmetless Master Chief who's emotional, and there's no Covenant war. There's barely any Covenant conflict. And then they give you human characters that they just made up for the show that have nothing to do with anything and are boring.
But
They are
space
boring and
AKs,
pointless.
JT. Space AKs.
Space
Oh
AKs.
my god.
That's if the
Dude, I
helmets,
remember seeing that. That was funny.
I remember pointing that out, and I was like, wait a minute. I haven't even really played Halo, and like that's not a thing. Why do they have
No.
Soviet era technology in my future space warfare game?
yeah, I know,
Because
and
it's not good. That's why.
it had potential. It had potential because the show started off with an action scene. It started off with blue team, or in this case, silver team, because they had to change stuff, right? But they had silver team fighting, and then it was only a bunch of elites. It wasn't even the Covenant. It was just a bunch of elites. Questionable CGI, right? Questionable action. Questionable Master Chief motives. It was all bad. They went off the rails. It wasn't even Halo. And they even said as much. The creators of the show were saying it's considered the silver timeline. It's going to be a separate canon than the games. And they
That's
wanted
an L
they didn't want,
take.
it's an L. That's a terrible idea. It's like you have all this lore. It's like what Disney did to Star Wars, how they got rid of Legends canon and they made their own canon. And then they're like, hey, we need more stories. You just got rid of all your stories with Legends. Why would you do that?
And now
It
they're
makes
kind of
no
like
sense.
re-canonizing things, and people are like, stop, don't ruin it.
Yeah, but at least with Star Wars, they're doing some stuff good with the recanonization. Not everything, but at least they're like, okay, this was popular. Let's bring it back. At least they have the bright idea to do that. The Halo show,
They
did
didn't have
no
the
such
idea,
thing.
we did. They're just listening.
They had no such idea, dude. Season 2, I heard, gets worse. They do the Battle of Reach, and Master Chief and Silver Team are fighting out of their armor. They're fighting out of their armor, and the conflict is resolved
What?
within episodes. Not even a whole season. Resolved in episodes.
What? Dude, I didn't realize that there was a second season of the show.
It got canceled
Like, I
shortly
just
after. That's probably why.
Oh my I can't believe it got renewed for a second season in the first place.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. And
Oh
that's
my
not even to
god.
mention Master Chief's. It became such an internet meme because Master Chief took off his entire armor, and he didn't just take off his armor, he took off his clothes because he took out an emotional pill that was above his ass, and he took it
Huh?
out. And yes, an emotional pill. He had emotional pill that suppresses emotion. And then he also, I forgot to mention, he slept with an alien spy, a human alien conspirator.
No
It is
way,
so
dude.
bad. It is so bad. They try
I
to do their
cannot
own thing, and it's
believe that.
awful. It is terrible. It is awful. What a waste of
They really
time.
thought that was gonna be a good idea.
No, and I'm sorry that went on way
Oh
longer
my
than it
god.
probably should have,
No,
but I
dude,
hated that
the
show.
rare JT rant, I'll take it, dude. Welcome to the dark side.
Dude, it was good. It was good.
Hated that
It was
show.
very
And
entertaining.
apparently they just recently put it on Netflix because Paramount Plus are a bunch of bums. I like Paramount Plus, but they're a bunch of bums over there that allowed Halo to
A
happen in
bunch of
343 and
bums.
Xbox. Yeah, they're all bums. They allowed it to happen. It was so bad they took it. Maybe it's still on Paramount Plus, but now it's on Netflix. And apparently, when it dropped on Netflix, more people decided to watch it because they're like, "Oh, there's a Halo show that they didn't know about because they don't got Paramount Plus, right?" So they watched it, and apparently, it did decent viewership numbers. So people are suggesting maybe it'll get picked up again. I certainly hope that that's not the case because I don't want any
Dude,
more awfulness. It's terrible. Burn it.
dude.
Burn it.
Could not have said
Awful.
it better myself.
I seriously, I forgot about the watch party because I was sincerely trying to forget about the show's existence, dude. It is so bad. It's as bad as like the Halo 5 Guardians campaign, and probably even worse because the Halo 5 Guardians campaign actually kept it to the books a little bit. It's blue team, not silver team, and the silver timeline because that shit is stupid. Anyways, Justin, please share one of your most hated
Dude, I
video
want
game
you to have that
adaptations.
much. I want you to have that much, like, passion for Fallout when they butcher season 2. But anyway,
Dude.
Oh, we gotta have faith. Let Christopher Nolan's bro cook, bro. Let Jonathan Nolan
that
cook
last
every
teaser
time.
they showed was kind of giving me some high hopes. They got the set design down, bro. Like they even got the canyon exactly to a T. So like there's like great
Pretty hype.
signs, and then like some of the leaks I've seen are like bad signs. I'm so mixed feelings about it. I don't want to spoil anything for people that don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Uwe Boll.
Yes.
Just in general, every movie he's touched. I've never seen any of these movies, dude. I'm gonna list them off for the audience though. I've played one game that he adapted, which was Far Cry. I didn't even know there was a Far
Yeah.
Cry movie, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only put these on
Far
here
Cry
because
movie?
I didn't have enough like. Yeah, there's a Far Cry movie. I
I
didn't have
suggested
enough.
them. I suggested them. I'm glad you looked into it a little bit. I'm
I didn't
glad.
have. I didn't have enough like movies I hated because like I typically don't even like this video game adaptations to films in general, so I just don't even watch them. But like, just know everybody that every Uwe Boll movie has like less than a 15% rating from like audience and critics. Like they're all terrible.
It's straight to
And he
DVD.
keeps
Some of
making
them.
them?
A lot of them.
No,
He made a
he
lot
stopped
of them.
making them in 2008. Where somebody pulled the plug, I should say, because I don't think he decided to just stop or
He's on a
something.
legendary run.
But he did-
Legendary run in the 2000s. Legendary awful run. Yeah.
But he did Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, Far Cry, House of the Dead, In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale, and Postal. Which is like, I know what Postal is, I know what Far Cry is. The rest of these, not only are they like the most niche video games I think I've ever seen listed, but also they're probably really terrible adaptations too.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
they look so bad.
Dang.
yeah. That,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Just, I was looking up earlier that he like has a restaurant, and I'm just let me just say that I'm glad he's making food and not movies.
Yeah. Facts. Facts, dude. Every time I watch like videos about
I
video
support
games
you,
that
A Bowl. Keep doing your thing, man. Don't come back.
just cook. Don't actually,
Yeah.
don't cook with movies for real. No, dude. Every time people talk about video game movies and video game shows, they always mention Uwe Boll because he is a huge reason as to why they have such a bad reputation. And a lot of those movies, granted, are straight to DVD or they're low budget, right? It doesn't matter. He's a huge proponent. He's a huge reason as to why it has a bad rap. So that fun little history of movies right there, video game movies. But Tyler, what's a game adaptation you do not like?
Well, we've already ragged on Halo.
You want to rag
Sorry,
on it
team.
some more?
That was my bad, team. Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. You said everything that I would have wanted to say, but I didn't like see all of it like you did. I just the second he
What?
took off his
Yeah.
helmet, that was all I needed to know.
You were
Was
smart
that
because I
okay?
was like, maybe there's still hope, or maybe they have a good explanation. There's no good explanation. They just wanted to be different, bro. And they didn't even have the music, dude. How can you not have the Halo? Having a Star Wars movie and not have like a score that's similar to John Williams, or just a score that captures Star Wars,
By the way,
It's
around the
criminal.
time this show came out was when that whole meme was resurfacing with the high schoolers in the bathroom like doing the acapella. And
Yes.
you're telling me that
Yeah.
they didn't capitalize on that? And yeah,
No.
like what the heck, dude?
Oh my god.
Come on.
There was some report or rumor that suggested that they didn't have the rights because of the composer, who worked for Bungie now, and whatever credibility, if there's any credibility to that, I call BS. It's a Halo show. 343 and Xbox own the rights. I can't imagine that being the case.
I would put money down on they could have gotten the rights, but they didn't want to associate with him because of his bad opinions in real life.
I wouldn't put it past them, honestly. I wouldn't put it past
And they
them.
were using that
But
as an excuse. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah,
yeah. If you
Yeah,
know,
I
if
guess
you know, you know.
yeah.
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 Justin.
And then
Oh, sorry. Go
there's
ahead, Tyler.
I haven't seen very many video game adaptations. And so there's my list of ones I don't like is very small. But Halo basically just takes up all three spots at this point.
Yeah, yeah. We also
Just
talked
like
about it a little bit, The Witcher, right?
yeah, the third season, like I didn't really know what they were gonna do, but I watched it and like I don't know, I didn't get the impression that they knew what they were doing either.
They did not.
Like I was watching
Seemingly.
it and I was like, what? Or they're like changing things about characters, you know, you feel like you understand these characters and then they make decisions that you seem like have nothing to do with like counter what the hell is the word? Like contradictory to
Mhm.
like what you know about them. You're like this character wouldn't do that. Like her whole point is, you know, teaching you to be strong in yourself and whatever. Like there's no way this character would go out like that or they I just didn't know where the story was going and they had all this build up to like nothing. And like just from a storytelling perspective, it just didn't make any sense. And then
Yeah,
and then you have, Henry Cavill, he's great, and so it was just
yeah.
kind of like a weird like what is exactly going on? Like I didn't really know the source material, so that didn't really help, but I feel like if I did, I probably would have been more upset.
Dude,
Um,
okay, just pointing it out, you were asking me why did I continue with Halo, and you continued with The Witcher knowing full well there was turbulence. Just saying.
no, I gave it a chance because it had at least 2 good seasons before it.
Fair.
Halo,
I
you
just
had
gave
one
yeah.
Yeah, it
he took
wasn't
off
a
his helmet in the
bomb on
first
the first
episode.
episode.
I
It
gave it
actually
a
the
chance.
first season
Yeah.
actually was really really good, and I liked the way they told the story. And then once 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 the timelines kind of like met up, so basically like when you're watching Geralt, this is not a spoiler, but when you're watching Geralt, it's from his perspective, it's actually like a few years in the past, and then when you watch it from the other main character's perspective, it's in the present. So like, and then at the end of the season they converge, and then they both of their timelines line up exactly, and then it continues from there into season 2. And so like season 2 wasn't terrible, but then like yeah, Henry Cavill was right. Like
Yeah, I know.
No, dude, he
they just were
was.
like
I heard
falling
that
off a cliff, and like they started changing a lot about The Witcher, and like honestly some of the stuff might even translate into the next game. It's like a thing that a lot of people are worried about, and it's like why are
Dude,
we
he's
yeah,
changing
I heard that
lore
that a lot
when
of
you
times
don't
on
respect the
set,
source
Henry
material?
Cavill would
Like sorry
yeah.
Tyler, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like if you don't respect your source material, you're just alienating the people that put you in this elevated position in the first place, and Henry Cavill
correct.
understands that, and I respect him
Yeah.
for dropping out of that show. Like I'm so worried about the next game for this reason, because it seems like CD Projekt Red is well,
Mhm.
they might have taken a little bit of the criticism to heart, so we'll just have to see. But there is definitely some worry that they're going to change like a major key function from the books, and that was established in the games as well. So it's been consistent twice already, and if they change this major key detail, it's going to turn a lot of people off, I think. So I don't want to spoil it in case they don't do it, or if you haven't played the games.
They might not. They might not.
Yeah,
We can hope. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tyler, what were you gonna say, sir?
Yeah. Oh, I heard something about Henry Cavill being on set, and you know, maybe it was when they were filming the second or the third season, but he's saying, "Oh, this wouldn't happen. Character wouldn't do that." Like he understood it way more than the people making the show.
Yeah, I
I
saw.
have a suspicion that
Yeah,
he probably wanted to leave earlier than season 3, but probably had a contract thing.
yeah.
Because he announced that he was leaving early, like,
Mhm.
before season 3 even dropped,
Dropped. Yeah,
so it had to have been early as like, he probably got out as soon as he could. He probably, knew things were gonna go bad.
yeah,
So,
dude.
and this isn't really much of a spoiler, but, they announced the recast super early, so they had to have known that this was gonna happen way earlier on, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, the show's gonna be dead without Henry Cavill in it," because if it's, nearly as bad as season 3 was, it's definitely gonna be terrible without Henry in it,
People still associate
and
him as Geralt, like
It's
when you
Geralt.
look at him, like he
dude,
was
he
just that
is
perfect.
Geralt,
He was
like,
that
he just
perfect.
that perfect, and I don't think that Liam Hemsworth is gonna do as good of a job as he is, but I do
Yeah.
kinda feel bad that he's probably gonna get a lot of hate just for being in that role, even though he's just kinda trying to do his job, like, he's probably just gonna try to do the character justice, he has some pretty big shoes to fill, and so I kinda feel bad for him
Mhm.
because,
But
like,
he knows what he
he's
signed
not a
up
bad
for.
actor. I don't
He's
think
gotta
he's gonna be
know.
a very good Geralt, but
He's
it's just
gotta know
like
what he signed up for, though, to be
Yeah,
honest. He's
that
got it.
he
paycheck.
has to,
Cha-ching.
yeah.
Yeah, he signed up for the paycheck, right? And then he also knows, hey, this show's been going on. Henry Cavill's been doing it. He's got to know. He's been a part of big franchises like the Hunger Games. He's got to know I'm not saying it's acceptable. I'm just saying he has to know. So for that reason, I don't feel too bad. But you know, it shouldn't
Yeah,
get to the point where people harass him. It should not get to that point. But
It'll
no,
happen,
it should
but
never at that point.
yeah.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
it
it'll
probably will
happen, but
happen.
no.
undeservedly.
Undeservingly, but he
Yeah.
should know that he's in for a whirl of backlash.
Yeah.
So he should know. But
Direct your
yeah,
attitudes
no,
towards the showrunners respectfully, but not the
yeah,
actors, please.
Respectfully.
yeah, and no
Yeah.
death threats, right? We don't want that. But
Seriously,
also,
dude.
speaking of Henry Cavill, speaking of those reports, I should say, there were reports suggesting that he was always giving pointers and stuff, and that people weren't like a fan or happy about that. That's crazy. How,
What?
someone's trying to give some pointers and some guidance and corrections and like point you to the material that you're adapting, and then you get upset because he's pestering you about it. It's not even pestering. It's like he's just giving like
Like, bro,
suggestions.
swallow your ego,
You know
okay?
what's
Like,
really
come
funny
on.
about that comment, JT? Total side
Yeah,
tangent, but you know who did do
yeah.
that to George Lucas?
Who?
Christian Haydenson and Ewan McGregor. And
Oh,
then
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. And so
Christian
Yeah.
Haydenson.
Christian Haydenson, yeah, you
Yeah.
better make that a short. That's funny.
No, you're good. We know what you
No,
mean,
no.
but Star Wars fans
But
might come up with
they
pitchforks.
pushed him a little bit on things, and especially like with fights or like certain dialogue, and all of that gets memed now in a good way, and it's endearing. Like, George
Yeah, and
George kind of has an ego.
When
He's
dude
kind
has
of
a purple
famous for having an
lightsaber.
ego, but he definitely knows when to listen to his cast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and you know
there's
why
a
Mace
there's a
Windu has
famous
purple lightsaber? 'Cause
there's
he talked
there's
to him about it.
yeah that I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. Yeah, like when Samuel L. Jackson like
yes,
approached George Lucas and was like
icon.
talking to him about
Legend.
the purple lightsaber, and George was like, I think we could retcon that. Like he was willing to like kind of maybe aggravate the fan base a little bit for something really cool, and it ended up working out. Like he knew when to listen and he knew when not to listen.
Have you
Except
seen that clip of them behind the scenes?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. It's legendary.
Dude, he's like, it's so good. He's like, can I have purple?
like, we can
And
make
he's
it
like,
happen.
well, the good guys are blue and green, but can I have a purple?
Yeah, like he
like,
pushed
okay,
back
I
on
think
it. He's
I
like, this is my baby, but we'll see. And then he made it work. Like, respect. And like
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did that a lot. He did
Yeah.
it. I remember hearing about like the behind the scenes for the design of General Grievous. Like he gave the general concept and he gave it to people pitched like the idea of how he would look, and he took a lot of the concepts. So
Christian
um,
Haydenson.
no, you're good. You're good. Not everyone's up with the actors' names up.
Yeah, I for
All
one
knowing of the
I
actors'
hate
names.
celebrity culture. So fun fact. So I don't know any
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
of anybody, but
But we love Henry Cavill in this podcast because he's one of us. He's a huge
he is
geek
one of
and
us.
he's
Keanu
passionate
Reeves.
about
I have a short
Keanu
list.
Reeves, Idris Elba. No, you love to see it, and when they're involved with these projects, care is going to be put into them. But another really awful movie that I was not a fan of is the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies and Monster Hunter movies. Have you guys seen any of them?
I think
Was
I've
it a
seen
Monster
a
Hunter
Resident
movie?
Evil movie at some point. Actually, yeah, I think I have. That's the one with like the shotguns with pennies, right? Like I've seen that scene.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I actually thought that was cool though.
Okay, so
There's
I
some
have a
cool
love.
elements. Is that what you're gonna
Yes.
say? Okay.
Cool elements, and I have a love-hate relationship with them because when I was a kid, I saw it with my dad. Very violent movie, but I saw it. And it was just a zombie action movie, a zombie horror movie, and then zombie action movie. They started stepping up the action, less horror, right? But as someone who never played the games when I was a kid, and just someone who just watched the movies, they were fun in their own right. But if you watch them like as like an adult, they're awful. Like in terms of story, like every movie retcons or changes something from the previous movie. There's like no consistency, and it doesn't follow any of the games. It's like takes little bits and pieces of the games, like the location, characters, and everything else is absolutely not like accurate whatsoever. And it's all for the worst. It'd be one thing if they improved on some stuff, but it focuses on a character that's not even in the games. And the character that it focuses on is the director's wife. If you guys didn't know that, Mila Jovovich, that's the director's wife. So she's the star of all of them. Her character's not involved with any of the games, but she's the main protagonist in the underline character through all of them.
I see.
So yeah, some cool
Hmm.
action moments for sure, but every movie storyline changes.
But you hated them.
I hated some of them. Some of them were better than others. Like literally, the end of like the second to last one ended with all of the characters from the games with Mila Jovovich at the White House in a last stand effort against the T virus outbreak or the zombie virus outbreak. And that was like with Wesker. So with Wesker and all of the Resident Evil characters and Mila Jovovich, they said this is the last stronghold for humanity against all the zombies. That's how it ended. Awesome ending. But then Resident Evil, the final chapter, starts off with the White House having been overrun and it was all off screen and like there's barely any humans left. That's how it starts.
Why?
Like it is so bad, dude. There's no consistency.
Wow.
It's such a tease from every movie to the next. It's a tease. It's bad. And then Monster Hunter World, and the advertising for Monster Hunter World was that they were going to make sure that the creatures and the world were accurate to Monster Hunter. But what they didn't advertise was the fact that he made the movie based on his wife's character, who's a military, like a soldier, coming from the real world into the Monster Hunter world. So it's like a fish out of water scenario, and and his wife has to
Why?
learn and adapt to become a monster hunter. And somehow she's better than the monster hunters in the Monster Hunter world. It is just pure stupidity. It is
Incredible.
So
dumb.
dumb.
You know what I will
She's like
say
a
is
soldier.
there's
like,
Monster
it's
Hunter. There's Monster Hunter anime. They're all kid shows, so like you can't really love them or hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like there's more than just this live action. I don't know. I've never seen any of the anime because they're not for our age demographic. But I think it would be cool if they got. I don't know. Such a cool franchise, and I feel like it gets shafted in the film aspects and the anime aspects. There are a bunch of people that were like, "Dude, can we get an anime that isn't
For kids.
for anyone under the age of 10?"
Yeah, that'd be cool. And honestly, a live action Monster Hunter movie could be sick because he did get the world correct. He did get some of the creature designs. They looked very faithful to what you see in the game, right? I'm not
Jurassic
the biggest
Park as a
Monster
reference would be like ideal.
Yeah, but everything else surrounding that movie, aside from the aesthetics of the Monster Hunter world, was awful. She was a soldier, and somehow when they fought the final monster, spoiler alert, it's not good. But when she becomes part of the Monster Hunters, she teams up with like a dozen Monster Hunters, and they all get taken out by the monster, the big final boss monster. They all get taken out except for her and a couple of her companions. And then I think it ends with them
Accurate to
coming to
gameplay though. The noob always lives last.
She's like
Yeah,
an
seriously.
American soldier. It's crazy. And then I think it ends with them going into the real world. They're fighting the monster in the real world. So they took it from the real world to the Monster Hunter world, and then they took it to the real world again. It is just dumb. It's like, why even have the fish out of water? Just have it be in the Monster Hunter universe. That is like, it's pure stupidity. Anyways,
JT,
I
you would love
apologize.
the isekai genre in anime, bro. That'd be your favorite genre. It's literally just fish out of water. The whole genre.
The whole
No,
time.
It's
but
literally
it's like
people from our life getting transported to different scenarios. It's hilarious. It's a whole thing.
it's yeah, it's cool, like, right? But
It
like,
can
it's
be.
like it can be cool, but it's like with Monster Hunter, you have an awesome world, you have cool characters, you have so much available. Why do the
Just
fish out
have
of
them
water?
be in world, yeah. Why?
Correct.
I
Paul
agree.
W.S. Anderson. I respect the fact that he wants to make these movies, but the fact he has to include his wife into them and he has to change up everything about them,
Dang.
it just never ceases
Now
to
that you've
amaze
said
me.
this, I really want you to watch the Minecraft movie because it's literally that.
See, I don't know any of the context. At least I've played Monster Hunter, but Minecraft, I wouldn't know anything about it. But I still want to watch
That's
it.
what they do, bro. And they do it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
every character in the I don't even want to talk about it because JT
Okay,
needs to
okay.
Chicken
watch it.
jockey.
Chicken
Justin,
jockey.
chicken jockey. Okay, Justin. All right, Justin, your next one, sir. And I'm surprised Minecraft wasn't on here. But you haven't seen Minecraft, so okay,
I
never mind.
have. I watched
Oh,
the
you have?
movie. I'm the only one here who's seen it, and I'm criticizing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you saw it.
I did. I saw the movie. Not on
Dude,
release.
I
I
don't
saw the
know any of
movie
the
and I
context of
hated
the
it even
game.
more.
But Minecraft doesn't have a story unless it's the Minecraft story.
No, I even when we went to go see
Telltale.
Star Wars, I even told you that like the whole movie just follows Minecraft Dungeons. It doesn't even follow the base game. And even the
Yes,
Minecraft
that's right.
Dungeon
That's
stuff,
right.
it doesn't even
Yeah,
follow like that
yeah,
accurately. It just pulls characters from. I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but I mean it's the most popular video game movie ever made. So
yeah,
if you haven't
yeah.
seen it or the memes, chicken. La la la
Yeah.
lava. Anyway,
Yeah.
dude. No, and like Jack Black, honestly, is really funny, and like it's a funny movie, but like
Yeah.
it's like Gulliver's Travels. Like, do we really think Gulliver's Travels is a peak movie? No, it's not. Sorry, but it's funny.
Yeah, yeah,
You know? Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Alright.
Warcraft
Yes.
is on my list, and honestly, everybody knows at this point that I'm a lore junkie, bro. And you want to talk about an absolute atrocity of lore breaking
I didn't think it
disaster? Have you even played World of Warcraft?
was that bad. I played Warcraft 3.
Oh, dude, props
And
to
I
you, man.
remember
I love
when I
Warcraft
saw
3.
this movie in theaters.
Nah, it was mid. It was mid. I didn't like it.
It was okay. I saw it with someone else who played it, and they were like, "We were hoping it's good. It could have been worse, but it wasn't great." Is basically what they said.
Yeah. It was Sean, right?
Yeah, I saw it with Sean.
I
He
saw
probably
it.
doesn't
I saw
remember,
this. Oh, so we all saw
but
it.
yeah, I did.
Props, Tyler, for playing Warcraft 3. That's cool. I played it too. I love
Yeah,
that.
I played that
Love
with
that game.
Sean too. That game was fun as hell, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Continue, Justin. Sorry. Sorry, Justin.
I didn't like it. I don't know what else I could say about it that's like positive or negative. It's not my most hated movie of all time. Not like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Assassin's Creed movie. Oh,
Oh,
But,
really? Okay, I haven't seen that one. I wanted to watch it, but
but
it looked so
I don't
mid
know.
at best.
Warcraft, the Dungeons and Dragons movie was better than Warcraft. If we want to like compare genres, at least I know
Yeah,
they're like
yeah.
not even in the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah. Similar. They're both fantasy, right? Both based off of previous stuff, right? A
yeah,
little bit.
I just
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it was also just a flop, and it was very mixed. Like you either loved it or you hated it, and I'm in the hate it camp for sure.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought it was okay personally. I know you're probably more into the Warcraft lore than I am. I have played Warcraft 3, Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, and I've played WoW. But I didn't really. I played for like the gameplay and the grind and the content more so than the story. But I always respect the story. I respect the lore. But one thing that I found fascinating about the movie was how well they did the orcs. I thought the orcs looked really good.
You're right about that.
And
It does look good.
they looked really good, and the battles
visually it
looked
looked
really
great.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
visually it looked good, but characters were just ultimately forgettable, and I'm sure they did butcher some things about the lore. And it's like,
Also,
how the
the
hell do
scene
you?
with
Yeah,
Lothar, like losing,
yeah,
I forget who died. That he like was really upset about. It was good. Like the acting was good.
yeah.
The
They had a decent
characters,
cast.
I don't know. Like
Yeah,
it's funny because you'll probably only hear me praise like bits and pieces of it here and there, but like it just didn't sit right with me. The movie just sometimes you just sit through a movie and you're like, yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work for me. That's how I feel about
no,
that
I
movie.
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I think that's
It
fair.
was forgettable, man. It was pretty forget to love it. But it's just yeah, it
I
was
feel the
mid.
same way
That's
about The
probably the
Hobbit. If we had to, you know,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, not terrible, but not the
Yeah.
best.
yeah.
I'm with you on that. But
People would probably
and
relate to that more. You know, you bring up the Hobbit movies and you'd be like, yeah, yeah, I see what you're trying to say.
yeah, um,
Yeah, exactly.
uh, so my third, I have 3 and 4, but I'm just gonna kind of group them. Well, I'll just say one of them. Uncharted. Uncharted is a more recent example of a really bad video game um, adaptation for a movie. Um, I was really looking forward to it as someone who recently I played all of the Uncharted games during when the PS5 first came out because I hadn't played a lot of the PS4 exclusives because I was a big Xbox guy. So when the PS5 arrived, I played a lot of PlayStation 4 exclusives. One of them was the Uncharted collection. I played Uncharted 1 through 4. I played all 4 of the games and I was like, "Man, these games are awesome. They're well written. There's so much that goes into these stories and like you could do a lot with a movie." And Tom Holland as Nathan Drake was the first sign that this is going to be quite different. And he wasn't like the main issue because he's a good actor, but dude, they did the criminal mistake of putting the best hits from all of the games and putting it into one short movie. They pulled that off, and that was a
Wow.
huge mistake because they took pieces from games 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they tried putting them into one movie. And then the next movie is going to
Ugh.
be a compilation of all the other parts of the games. You know, they're gonna. I don't know how long you can keep going on for, but it's not. It's not. It's not great storytelling. You know, it's so weird, dude. I hate when they do that. They even do that for when they adapt books, you know, when they adapt books and then they put those are the ones that fail, dude. I honestly, I don't think anything
Yeah.
succeeded doing that. I don't know why you would do that. But that game made money though, so I think they are going to make a sequel, which is a shame. But because I like the cast and I like the game, but I don't know if I'm going to see it because it was pretty bad. But, yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see it. Pretty much
there's not.
everything you said is what I heard was,
Yeah,
"Why are they making it like this?" When
it
they had
makes
literally everything laid out for them and they do this. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, or if they wanted to do the route that we've been talking about before, about how you can make maybe an Uncharted movie about a Nathan Drake story that we didn't see in the games, so that way you don't mess up with
Mhm.
established lore, like that would have been cool. But instead, they do an amalgamation of everything, and it just felt not nearly as good as any of the games.
Sounds like
So
the
I was,
Assassin's Creed movie.
yes, you want to perfect segue into that, Justin. Assassin's Creed, not a fan.
No, it was terrible. It was probably the worst movie in this entire list, bro. 100%. Okay, so you guys have played
I didn't see it, but I heard it
Assassin's
was
Creed
bad.
2. Yeah, it was terrible. Have you
Yeah,
guys played
I played
Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed
Creed.
2? Both of
I
you?
have played it. Yes.
Come on, Tyler.
No.
Ah,
Bruh. Xbox
so
fanboy
good.
over here. He's never played Assassin's Creed.
Hey, multi-platform.
I had like 3 Xbox 360 games.
He's like, my mom wouldn't let me play Assassin's Creed.
She
Or
couldn't buy it
GTA
for me.
4.
A
But
lot of
definitely
us
not
weren't able to play
GTA, bro. I go to
GTA.
my
No,
mom's
dude, no.
house for that.
Dude, a little side tangent, not related, but I used to go to GameStop with like fuck my pennies or like you just like your pocket change or your and you used to be able to buy those like cards. They were like G coin or something like that or like red card. And
Yeah.
like because you had to
Mm.
be 18 to buy games that were like rated M for mature. But you could buy. So
Mm.
what you could do is you buy the cards, and then this is a big thing with PC gaming. I'm glad I'm an adult now, so I can tell this story, but it probably would not go over well back then. But I would take those cards because they're prepaid cards, right? So you're fronting cash, and then you get a card back, right? Like a Visa card. And so you go online and just buy the game, and you don't need to do an age verification. That's how I played all these games that I shouldn't have been playing.
Oh, that's legit,
Yo,
bro.
that's
That's
kind of big brain though.
you're playing the system, bro. You're playing the system
For
legally.
real. And then so the law changed actually, like when we were in high school, to like you can't sell kids these cards. I guess somebody caught on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back in
so
the day, I
sad.
was like 11, 12 and like buying these cards, bro, and like buying loot boxes on Counter-Strike.
Holy cow.
Underage gambling, guys. Woohoo. No, total side
No,
tangent, but
That's so
it's
funny.
kind of
That's a
relevant.
really that
Yeah.
is a crazy story, man.
That's some
But
Justin
anyways,
lore.
but yeah, Justin Lore. But back on track though, Assassin's Creed. What was so bad about it, other than probably the inaccuracies?
Dude,
'Cause
okay,
I kinda
so
got that vibe.
they
Yeah.
copied all of Assassin's Creed 2. Like, not to a T, but like basically it's the plot of Assassin's Creed 2. Do you remember Assassin's Creed 2 at all, JT, or should I
Yes, I
okay.
have. I've
So
played
for
it. Yeah.
Tyler, there's like there's a group of assassins and they're fighting the Templars, right? So the assassins are the quote unquote good guys, and it's an alternate history. So the Templars, like under the guise of the Catholic Church or whatever, they collect these artifacts called the Tools of Eden or Artifacts of Eden. I think that's what they're called, is the Artifacts of Eden. And so in Assassin's Creed 2, the whole main focus is on Ezio's artifact that he gets throughout his story, and it's the Apple of Eden, which like has some time bending properties to it. And the plot of the movie takes place in Spain in 1492. And if you know anything about Assassin's Creed 2, it takes place in Italy, like kinda close in time to that period. But like in the movie, this is almost confusing to even explain. I'm like getting a headache trying to describe it. Well, so basically, like at around the same time that Ezio is going to get the Apple of Eden in Italy, there's an Apple of Eden in Spain, and the character Cal Lynch is trying to find the person that killed his mother. Dude, it's literally just the same plot. I don't even have to explain it.
So it's not. Wait, is it an original story or is it?
Yeah, it's an original story, but like they copied the plot beats because Ezio's family gets executed, and sorry, spoilers, it's been 20 years.
I see what you're
Ezio's family gets executed. Yeah. His whole thing is like trying to get the Apple of Eden. He's fighting against the Templars, like but it's in Italy.
Force
and then
Awakens and A New Hope, where it's
yes,
just like the same movie.
Yes, it's the same movie, different characters. And so in this movie, it's Cal Lynch. His family gets murdered by the Templars. He then joins the thing, and then his ancestor, who's actually like going back in time to like review his memories, is also a part of Abstergo, and his name's Joseph. And then like there's a whole like escape mission in the Abstergo timeline, fakes his execution, takes him to the research facility, and it's literally the same plot. It's just a different character.
So did they say that it takes place in the same universe, or did they say? Yeah. Did they say they were gonna?
It's been so long now that like it
Okay.
probably doesn't matter, but yes, it does. It's supposed to be happening alongside the Ezio storyline with Desmond.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know what
They're
the
both
case was
him,
for that.
Desmond, and Joseph are at Abstergo at the same time, and they both have they're both not even related to the same person, but like for some reason Joseph's ancestor and Desmond's ancestor both have encountered the Apple of Eden in two different time periods in two different countries. Like it makes no sense.
That is insane.
It's it's such a like the fact that like you guys are just as confused as I'm explaining. I'm reading it off the wiki right now. It was that confusing.
No.
This is not from memory. This is me reading it verbatim.
I get it, but that is really dumb. I didn't know that was the case. I thought they were pulling a Halo, and this isn't the timeline of the games. This is its own timeline.
No, it's absolutely.
It's not. They just said, "Hey, this takes place in the Assassin's Creed games, but this isn't a game. This is what our story, right?" That's wild. That's funny.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's bad. And I like Michael Fassbender. He looked like he could be a really good assassin. So it's unfortunate that he was subjected to that movie.
And what's cool, because some of the assassinations are kind of sick. Like, but who cares? The movie was terrible.
Yeah. Oh.
And they worked closely with Ubisoft. So like Ubisoft greenlit this stuff. And their whole thing is, which is a brand new story, new characters set in our universe with some familiar faces. Wink. We really want to respect the game's elements, but we also want to come up with our own thing.
Oh my.
So they didn't do that.
So they just copied 2 and made a couple extra steps. Like, it's so
Pretty much.
stupid.
Yeah, with extra steps.
It's so
And it's
dumb.
also supposed to be like, if you know it, like these games are alternate history, right? So like
Yeah.
normally like the main focus is on the Assassins versus Templars thing, but the cool thing about Assassin's Creed is it's taking place in the backdrop of like a real historical event. Like Assassin's Creed 2 was taking place again during the time when the Catholic Church was being questioned on like their relevancy. Assassin's Creed 3, took place during the American Revolution. And it's like it's supposed to be like this is what really happened in history. You know what I mean? Like the secret underbelly, the dark society. And in the one in the movie it takes place in the backdrop of the Granada War, which is like when the Catholic monarchs excommunicated Muslims from the Iberian Peninsula, and that doesn't get showcased in the movie at all. Which is like a main focus of Assassin's Creed, is it's supposed to be like showing the historical event, but like with the alternate history of it's actually just like a battle between assassins and Templars under the guise of like this historical conflict. And they didn't even touch on it at all, even though they mention it in the movie. Cringe.
That's insane.
Wow.
Really. And when the companies work closely and like that, they're like okay, like they okay that shit,
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Like if someone goes rogue, you can be like, okay, yeah, who cares? They didn't get approval, but Ubisoft greenlit this. They were like, yeah, good idea.
I know, dude. And then, I mean, as much as I'm a proponent for video game adaptations, man, there have been some awful ones. Now that, besides from the ones that we mentioned, dude, I can't believe somebody greenlit Borderlands. That's another one that I saw. Oh my God, that was
Oh
not
my goodness,
good.
dude. I
Borderlands,
turned
that
that off
was,
after like 20 minutes.
dude. I watched it in the hopes it wasn't like the worst thing ever. Like I probably give it a little bit more leniency as like a casual guy, but it doesn't do anything for Borderlands fans. It doesn't do anything for people who are interested in Borderlands. It's just it just exists. It's just there. It's not.
It
Yeah.
just exists. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good way of
it's
putting
hard
it.
to explain because like I'm a casual Borderlands fan, so like I beats me if they butcher the lore, but like obviously they did, but it doesn't please anybody. You know what I mean? It's just that type of movie. It's just bleh.
Once
But
once they said Kevin Hart was gonna be Roland, I was like, I don't think that they understand what they're doing.
that
I
is one of
just
the biggest miscasts ever. And Kate Blanchett, I
I was
love
just
Kate
like
Blanchett, but she's so much older than Lilith. It's insane. It's wild.
Idris Elba would have been a way better Roland
He
because
would have
he's
been
serious, he's gritty, like it makes sense. And then they put Kevin Hart, and I was like, is this like
serious.
supposed to be a comedy? Because Roland was like probably one of the most serious characters in the game,
Yeah,
and
it was. Ugh.
I was just like, what?
Who's a
Do
worse
they even
casting, Kevin Hart or
understand?
Bella Ramsey?
Oh,
Dude,
Kevin Hart
agreed.
actually. People are gonna hate me,
Probably
but Kevin
Kevin
Hart
Hart.
is actually decently kind of funny. Even in a bad movie, he'll get a couple laughs out of you, I think. But Bella
Yeah, he's
Ramsey
funny.
as Ellie. Ugh.
He's funny. He's not serious, which is like why it was like so bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but speaking of Bella Ramsey as Ellie, though, The Last of Us is an adaptation that has been going through a little bit of controversy with season 2. A lot of people are really hating on it, but I just wanted to briefly touch upon it real quick. But as someone who's played the games a couple of times, both of the games, and someone who's currently watching the show from the beginning to end, I am thoroughly enjoying the second season. And it might be a hot take, but I think it improves on a lot of the shortcomings that are found in the second game. Because, granted, the second game was very controversial. People were upset with where the story went in certain directions. But I think the show is righting a lot of those wrongs. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't really talking about it. So I just wanted to briefly mention that. I think season
we talked
2.
about this a bit before
Yeah.
the pod, but I feel vindicated that like the normie casuals who didn't play the games are like just as mad about the same things we were mad about in the games, and then we got lambasted for it, saying like, you don't understand, you just hate it because of these reasons that are
Yes.
a part of our agenda. And it's like, no, we just hate it because you have terrible writing skills. But go off. And then the normies watched the TV show, didn't play the games, and hated it for the same reasons. And it's like, yeah, see See,
Yeah.
it was just a
Yeah, a
bad
lot of
story.
yeah, a
The
lot of
games were fun.
criticism.
I liked playing them. They
Yeah.
were cool.
Yeah, a lot of the criticisms are valid, but some of them are a little bit exaggerated, like, because people really didn't like the games, people really weren't gonna like the show, but some of the show is doing a lot of decent changes, it's not a
Yeah,
one
I
for
will
one.
say, like, cause I didn't play the games, but, like, every episode, I'll pretty much talk to JT about it, like, "Okay, how is this different in the game?" And I think it was, like,
Mhm.
the 2nd or 3rd episode, you're like, "Yeah, so this is how this happened, and this is how it happened in the show." And I was like, "You're right, they told the story a lot better in this episode, and it wasn't, you know, as confusing as I guess it would have been in the game if I had played it, and it
Yeah.
just made more sense."
Mhm.
And so I think that they I mean, I didn't play the games, granted, but, like, I kinda stand by your opinion, JT, of, like, they are improving on some things, but it's I wonder how much improvement they'll actually be able to do.
This is
Yeah,
one
and how
thing.
long
So,
it'll continue.
This is
Yeah.
one thing
Uh,
with
yeah.
games and adaptations. Like, small brief tangent, but like when you're playing a game, everybody's gameplay experience is gonna be different. Like, if it's a choice-based game, you're gonna make different choices than your friends, and you're gonna make different choices than the people who like adapt these games into shows and movies. And
Mhm.
like a prime example is like Elder Scrolls Oblivion. You know what I mean? That's kind of relevant right now. Um,
yeah.
like there's some stuff that
Yeah.
like Tyler and JT will never experience that I experienced, whether it be like bugs or like random encounters or like certain characters that like can live and die in this living, breathing world. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then you try to adapt something like that into a movie or a TV
Mhm.
show, it can really backfire really fast. Like Fallout is a prime example, which is why they took the safe route and totally made like whole new cast and characters. And really, they've the things that I don't appreciate about the Fallout show are like the world and the lore and the area surrounding the Los Angeles, like the setting. It's the setting I have like the biggest problem with. I have no qualms with the
Mhm.
characters, the writing, the storytelling, like it's all good. Because
Yeah.
they're not butchering pre-established characters. You know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
with The Last of Us, they're following it almost to a T, but like it didn't
Yeah.
work. It didn't work in the games, and it also doesn't work in the show. I'm just a little disappointed that they didn't take our criticisms to heart, and it's biting them in the butt
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
They made some changes. They've explored things in more depth, and it's just not getting the recognition because people are just really not fans of the material. And I can't blame them because some of the directions, as much as you try to adjust it, are bad, right? But at
Yeah.
least they're trying to keep it a little bit more interesting. It makes a little bit more sense, in my opinion. But yeah, no, kind of going to your point though, Justin, about video game adaptations. Some of the worst ones we've talked about are ones where they don't follow anything from the source, and some of them are examples where they try to do their own thing. And then other examples are they don't care, right? There's a bunch of examples of them not respecting the material. But there's a lot of success stories that show that it can be done. We've talked about
There's a
them.
few success
Um,
stories
a good amount, I would say.
in a
There's
sea of
surprisingly
failures.
and yeah, there are a
Yeah.
lot of
Can name
failures.
them
There
all
are
on one hand.
correct. There's a lot of failures. There's been a good amount of success stories. They're getting better, kind of along with movies in general. Movies are becoming way more sophisticated than they've ever been, for better or worse. But there's
Yeah.
actually a good amount of video game adaptations that are on the way.
I will say,
Um,
like, in terms of films exclusively, I actually put this in, like, my whole conclusion points, and maybe you'll agree with this, JT, is, like, I just don't think this medium is meant for film. Like, I think that, like, and it's interesting because a
I
lot of the
agree.
stuff we talked about, like, a lot of the best video game adaptations currently are TV shows. And you know what because they
yeah,
can flesh out more of the lore. Like in
yeah,
the anime adaptations for some of these video games have the added benefit of like, okay, we can do a lot more of this like extremely radical choreography or like body tech stuff that like a live action could never do without like really high
mhm,
budgets and like cranes that like you know what I mean? Like in an anime you can draw something, whereas like if you have a character,
yeah,
they're limited by gravity on the planet Earth. So
yeah, yeah,
some of the
yeah.
stuff has to be adapted to reality. Whereas, like, I don't know, like a TV show, has a lot more leniency. They can also fully flesh out Lawrence and characters and story over a longer period of time. Where like one of your criticisms of Uncharted was like they tried to mash everything into like one movie.
Yeah.
It's like imagine if
Yeah.
they did a TV show. Like it would have been way better, or at least maybe not way better, but maybe they could have had more stuff to flesh out over a longer period of time, and then it would make more consistent sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying, and the TV shows seem to be hitting more than they are for movies. But one of the reasons why I think that might be a big reason is because of the people behind them. You have people like Paul W.S. Anderson who has to have his wife in all of the movies for some reason. So he'll make characters that have no relation to the game, but just so that he can insert his wife, for example. You also have Uwe Boll who does the straight to DVD ones, and he does it with low budgets, right? Regardless of the situation, I feel like they've been getting the wrong people to do these. But as of late, they seem to be doing a little bit better. And right now, I kind of wanted to share with you guys some adaptations that are on the way. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on if you guys think that they're promising, or you think they'll be a train wreck, like history has shown us. But first off, one of the most recent news pieces that I saw was that Elden Ring is possibly getting a movie directed by Alex Garland, who is known for Warfare, directing Civil War, Annihilation, and he was a part of 28 Days Later.
So this is
yeah.
one of those things that like I know people are kind of excited for this, and I think we're in a honeymoon phase for it. But Elden Ring and a lot of Souls-like games can be done out of order, and these games are played in very specific ways. There's a big red flag on this one for me, because it's kind of like if you tried to adapt Fallout or Oblivion, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be entirely based on whoever is writing this they better have played it, and they better have played it the correct way, because if they haven't,
yeah,
players are just going to be like,
I'm curious.
this has nothing to do with Elden Ring.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not a fish out of water. The soldiers come from the real world.
The correct way is a trick answer, because there is no correct way to play this game. That's why it's hard to adapt. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not like The Last of
I'm
Us, where it
curious
follows
as to
a single storyline the whole time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Given Alex Garland's previous films, like none of them are really like fantasy, are they?
No.
Like, has he even done something in this genre?
Not like
No.
not like high fantasy, but like you could. I mean, 28 Days Later is kind
28
of
Days
fantasy.
Later, you can argue that he has created worlds, right? So the 28
It's more like a regression of technology, not so much fantasy, you know.
Correct. The 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
The 28 Days Later lore, the post-apocalyptic world is far different than obviously
magic and giant swords and monsters that tower skyscrapers. Like, I don't know how they're gonna do this, bro. I think it's gonna be a miss. But I know people are hyped.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited, and here's why, right? Like you said, Justin, for that reason about how there's so much you could do with it. That's why I'm a little bit excited, because I'm curious which story they're going to adapt. They're going to do an original piece. Is George R.R. Martin going to be involved? Are the people from FromSoft going to be involved? There's a lot of potential, and since it doesn't have a linear story, they could cook something special.
Everything else that you listed here, JT, I have more excitement for, because they follow a consistent story, and really all they have to do here is good casting and like not go off the trail too much. Elden Ring, I think, is the one on the way that I'm like probably not gonna watch, or at least until people say it's good.
There's a lot of question marks for sure, and I don't doubt that. That's like trying to, it's like adapting. You have to do more than one Elden Ring movie, I would feel like, because there's so much you could do with it.
You could do one for every boss, bro.
You could. So
you could do one for every backstory of every character.
Correct. So I'm looking forward to it with optimism, because Alex Garland, he's a proven director. Granted, like you guys said, he hasn't done fantasy, but he has created some unique worlds. Annihilation looked crazy. Warfare, obviously a smaller scale, but intense nonetheless, and pretty accurate to what it was adapting. And then 28 Days Later. But the next one, we're gonna go through these a little bit quick. Death Stranding.
Boo.
Gonna be directed directed by Michael Sarnowski, and it's going to be another A24 film. So Elden Ring is going to be A24, which is weird. Death Stranding will also be A24, and Michael Sarnowski is known for A Quiet Place, Day One, and the Nicolas Cage indie movie.
If you want to fall asleep during a movie, because I fell asleep during this game, Death
Dude,
Stranding.
actually,
Do you know anything about
I
it,
agree with
Tyler? Death Stranding?
a little bit. Wasn't
Norman
was that
Reedus.
the one that Norman Reedus was in
Yes,
too?
sir.
Yeah.
Tyler's our
How he just
resident.
never cuts his hair.
Yeah,
He's
Tyler.
always freaking dancing and everything, dude.
Yeah, he's our resident Walking Dead fan. So I mean, I had a feeling I should have known you would have known this since it has Norman Reedus in it. But this is a Hideo
Yeah.
Kojima game. PlayStation 4 exclusive, but now I think it's multi-platform. It's on Xbox now, and it's been on PC for a bit. It's very abstract, very artsy, but I enjoyed it. I don't understand a lot of what's happening. I didn't get to finish it. I do want to finish it before the movie comes out. But
Walking
I'm actually looking
Simulator,
forward
the
to it.
video game.
Yeah, walking simulator, Amazon delivery simulator. But I like it. I mean, I love the aesthetic. I love the vibes and the gameplay. It sounds boring, but it's enjoyable with all the sci-fi.
Believe
tech
it or
and
not,
gadgets
this
now.
actually might be
Yeah.
a better movie than it was a game, depending on how they.
It could. It has the potential to be, and it'll. But since it's A24, it might be on the artsy side. So who knows if maybe they can answer some things or be a little bit more streamlined, or maybe they'll go the full artsy route. Who knows, right? But if Hideo Kojima's involved, A24, they do good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. The guy who did A Quiet Place Day One, interesting choice. I thought it was an okay movie, but time will tell with that. And also, what do you guys think if they did that Death Stranding movie and they don't cast Norman Reedus?
I would laugh my ass off.
Dude.
Would there even be a point? Would there even be a point?
They just want to one up the
Dude,
terrible
what the
casting of Bella Ramsey. God, that's what I would think. I'd be like, they just look at each other in the boardroom. They're like, "You guys want to see the funniest joke in all of film history?" And not cast Norman Reedus as his own character.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be like if they
Tyler-
didn't cast Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand in the Cyberpunk
Yes,
adaptation.
makes no sense. Okay, Tyler, on your scale of 1 to 10, what would your excitement be if it was not Norman Reedus and it was someone else playing Sam Porter?
I would just go on, recent precedents of past video game movies and go, okay, it's probably going to be another flop. I'll wait till it comes out, see what everybody says, and then maybe I'll see it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Good. I couldn't imagine them not picking Norman Reedus. That'd be a crime. All these guys are like actors or have acting, like obviously credit, and you could totally put them in here. And all of them are game because they're all friends with Hideo Kojima. If he asked, I couldn't imagine them saying no. So, but if it's not up to him, then that would be kind of crazy. The next game that we have is The Legend of Zelda, and this will be directed by Wes Ball. And for all of these ones that we're listing, by the way, there's no release dates just yet. They're just announced or in the works. So
I
Legend
love
of
both
Zelda-
of the movies that you have listed here from West Ball, so I'm excited for this.
Cool. Yeah, Legend of Zelda, directed by Wes Ball. He has done the Maze Runner trilogy and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
And I
bangers.
liked the Maze Runner movies. I enjoyed them thoroughly. They're not the best. I only watched 1 and 2, and I liked, I think, both of those. And then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I thought was good. But what do you guys think of the Legend of Zelda movie?
I probably have the opposite opinion of you guys because I watched the first Maze Runner movie. It was good. I didn't watch the rest of them, but I heard that they ruined something in the story. I don't know what it was in the movies from the books.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like maybe they'll change something because he has that track record. If that's true, I didn't see it.
The thing with
Um,
Legend of Zelda, and this is so funny. I feel like I'm always opposite of you guys, but like the thing with Legend of Zelda is the games also kind of just like don't even follow a consistent path. Like that's kind of just Legend of Zelda in general.
Yeah. So
Sometimes
maybe.
Link is the main character, sometimes he's a kid, sometimes he's an adult. You know what I mean? Like it's just they built that into the lore of Legend of Zelda in the first place. So like they have a lot of leniency here to work with. And if it sucks, it sucks. I don't think people will care if it sucks, and I don't think people will care if it's good, because like
Yeah, it'll just be on
this is one of the
IGN
few
for, like, a
video
month
game
and then it'll
adaptations
go
that
away.
like people won't. It won't cause a stir no matter what happens. I think
Oh,
unless it's like
interesting.
amazing. Yeah.
Is there like continuity, or they're just standalone Zelda stories?
Have you ever played any of the Legend of Zelda games?
No, I have not.
Dude, like,
I've
I
not.
mean, there's more consistency now with the Switch releases, but like Wind Waker
Yeah,
Link is not
yeah.
the same as like Majora's Mask Link. They're like two different links from two different time periods. Like it's just like the Legend of Zelda
Gotcha.
is
Okay.
supposed to be like, you know, recurring characters over different timelines. Like they're not even loosely connected. It's just like fun childhood game with
Gotcha.
recurring
Okay. Yeah.
characters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Me and Tyler grew up with Xbox and PlayStation. Y'all, please don't hate us.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
I'm
fine. It's fine.
interested. I'm interested to see what they could do with the Legend of
Like
Zelda
Breath of
games
the
because
Wild
yeah.
and Tears of the Kingdom are like the first two Zelda games that like actually were direct sequels of each other. This is not a normal
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
for Legend of
Gotcha.
Zelda to
Gotcha.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that makes sense because I could just tell from the art style and the gameplay, it looked like they were
Yeah.
connected.
So like
Um,
if they totally just go crazy with this, I don't think people would just be like, "Oh yeah, it's another Legend of Zelda thing." Sorry. Okay, we got
yeah.
a lot of these. You want to just list them off and then
Yes.
be like, "What are you guys
Ghost of,
excited for?"
Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
directed by Chad Stahelski, the guy behind the John Wick franchise, and he's done stunts for Matrix, Spider-Man 2, Hunger Games, Deadpool 2, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm very excited for that one. The guy is a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima. He's even talked about having a black and white director's cut or a black and white version of the film, and
Based.
he's talked about how he wants it to be in full Japanese, but that is to be determined
Also
because of
based.
this. Yeah, because
They
of
go
the
the Shogun
studio
route.
and
W.
yeah.
That's my quick
It, it
TLDR.
it's pretty hype, dude. I'm excited. His action and his eye for stunts and choreography is top tier, and his resume backs it up. I'm super looking forward to this as someone who played the game. But Tyler, are you pretty hyped for this, Justin? I know you're into Japanese stuff, Shogun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Ghost of
No, that's hype.
Tsushima could be potentially a good one.
Yes, it could. And I feel like a lot of these movies,
So
they're
it
gonna
could
right the
suffer from the
wrongs.
same thing as Elden Ring, though. That quick tangent, but I already explained that.
But
So
it has a linear story.
it does, but you can kind of branch out a little bit.
You
That's the
could,
thing.
and you could, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Jin Sakai, but we'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see for that. Resident Evil, Zach Kreger is the director. He did Barbarian and the upcoming Weapons movie. Both of those are horror with a little bit of comedy in them. I think he'll be the perfect fit for Resident Evil, just based on his short thing,
You
his
can't
short
mess it up
resume.
more than the hated movies. So
Yeah, the Paul W.S. Anderson
Yeah.
movies.
There is
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And then there was also another one, Welcome to Raccoon City, where they tried to go a little bit more accurate, but I heard they combined portions of the games and it's lower budget, and the cast was, I heard, not very good.
yeah.
So I hope that they learn from all of those movies and make a banger movie. That'd be great.
Oh, this
Um,
next one on the list. Oh man.
Yes, sir. Split Fiction by John M. Chu. Weird choice for a director, but he did Wicked, Crazy Rich Asians, and G.I. Joe 2. And this is going to star Sydney Sweeney. They already casted her. She's going to be one of the main girls, presumably. But Justin, what are your
That's the
thoughts
only
on
reason I'm gonna see
Let
it.
Tyler
Honestly.
talk. Let Tyler talk first on this one because
Tyler?
he might
What are
actually
your
like
thoughts?
it.
Sydney Sweeney
So
as one of the main girls.
okay. Two things.
The married man over here.
I'll
Sydney
I'll go see
Sweeney.
it just because it's
Jingle,
Sydney
jingle,
Sweeney.
jingle, jingle.
But I got two good reasons.
So,
Anyways, uh,
she's a good actress is one.
so I finished the game. The game was awesome.
Yes.
I think it's something that should stay a game.
Yes! What?
I don't
I'm so
know.
glad I let you go first. This game
I
is
don't know
literally
how.
like a film adapted into a playable video game. You don't have to make a movie. Thank you. Love you,
Okay,
Tyler.
okay. The fact that they announced it to be a movie like only a month or two after the game came out is like
They're riding off the
that's
hype
kind of
train.
weird. Like what the heck? But also the game was so well done as a game that as a movie it would just feel really cheap.
Right.
I don't know how they could make
The reason
a
these
good
games
movie out of it
are
because
successful from
it just
that studio is because they're not movies.
yeah. Like it just how do you even do that in a movie where the whole point is it's a couch, co-op player game and you're working together and the way that they the game references and other movie references and the style, like how do you make that a movie? I like especially live action, like how are you even gonna do that? Because the game explores so many different video game art styles and 2D and 3D and like they do so much. so much
So
creativity.
here's what
Like,
they
I
could
just
do.
don't know how you could make that a movie.
They make 2 different movies, one from each person's perspective, and then you buy a ticket and you don't know which version you're going to see. So you have to end up seeing both of them. That's the only way this could work, in my opinion.
Dude.
That would
I
actually be
honestly think
sick. That would actually be kind of cool. If you think about it.
that would be kind of cool. That'd definitely be different. But I think this could work. I think this has like a better chance of working because it's has such a like such a linear story. You know what I mean? This has like a better chance of working than I think like Elden Ring and
The
Legend of
acting's
Zelda.
already cheesy in the game. Like if they go dialogue for dialogue, you know, I just don't think it can make a good movie. It only works in the game because it's like I play these characters and I relate to them a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
they would
see.
have to
Yeah, the
do.
game was so good. Like, please don't make a
Yeah,
movie of
Yeah,
this.
just
they
Like,
would
just let it
leave
be
it.
a game.
Yeah.
they would have to adjust and like write them a little bit differently. I concur, and also it'd be hard to do different worlds consistently, but it has been done. We've talked about it before the pod, Justin, but Ready Player One does a really good example of creating multiple different types of settings and locations. And that might be an exception to the rule, right? Not every movie could be like
Yeah,
that,
it's tough to
but
do.
it
I give Ready Player One
tough
a
to
lot
do.
of props, even though it wasn't like a fantastic movie, but like they put so much
Correct.
into that. It was just like hard to
Correct.
hate it. Hard
The
to hate it.
worlds are insane, and they captured the oasis, how it's so free flowing. Like, so it can be done. Should it be done? You guys don't think so? I think it can be done, but only time will tell. It is definitely going to be on the like the harder end on this list, I feel like. But
Yeah.
moving on. God of War. It's going to be a series on Prime Video.
Prime
I
Video? No, it's gonna be terrible.
no. Okay, wait. Let me counter that. Let me counter that.
Dude, Prime Video is hit or miss, dude. It's like
It is hit
It's,
or miss.
it is
really big
either
hits and
peak
really big
TV
misses.
show storytelling or the worst thing you've ever seen.
Yes, but you can honestly
Seriously.
say that about almost all the streaming platforms. The only one that's probably the most consistent.
Well, no,
I think,
not
is
true,
Apple
because
TV.
Netflix sucks.
They have some bangers,
Everything
though.
sucks on Netflix.
Oh, they have some bangers. The Witcher at its peak was good. They have Arcane and they have Cyberpunk, which y'all loved,
They do
But
have
those
that
the,
on Netflix.
Netflix
Yeah.
didn't produce those, to be fair.
but it's on
They
their
just kinda have them.
platform.
It is on
It's
their
Netflix
okay, but
exclusive.
that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
It's like
I'm just saying.
Bethesda
I'm just saying,
Softworks versus Bethesda Studios. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Squid Game. They have other
not produced
Alice
by
in
Netflix.
Borderland. But okay, but they're on the platform. I'm talking about
Yeah.
in terms of their content, the breadth of their content, the width of their content. Prime Video has more W's than losses. You got the home. It's the home of The Boys, it's the home of Invincible, home of Terminal List, home of Reacher, but their L's are pretty bad. The L's being Rings of Power, which is like one of the worst, you know, shows and adaptations. I would say I might be over exaggerating a little bit. And Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time, a show that nobody watches or cares about. Nobody that I know watches this show, and I don't know anybody who talks about it either. It is just not a faithful
Didn't
adaptation.
they make like 2 seasons?
I think they're on like 3 or 4, and I think it's like the final season. But the show has survived,
Dude.
and Rings of Power has survived, but somehow.
So
Normies have
just
saved that show
recently-
because my stepdad watches that and his friends watch it, and they're all in their upper 40s. Normies watch Wheel of Time. That's why it's succeeding.
Yeah, I was just kind of like learning about the books. And then I was like, oh, there's a show? And I had no idea that the show was out.
Just read
And
the
I'd have
books.
no idea if it was good or not. But
Yeah, just read the books. It's totally different from what I've heard.
You
And then
like to
Rings of
read. I don't
Power-
have to fight you on that, you know?
Yeah, and Rings of Power,
Yeah.
they just wanted to do their own thing. They got writers that had barely any experience, and they got writers, producers, like just the people behind the show are like, it just didn't bother with it. You know what I mean? And I heard they wanted a Tolkien advisor. Someone wanted a Tolkien advisor to be a part of the show, and apparently I heard that they declined it. I don't know how accurate that is, but I think
Just spit on
Rings of Power-
Tolkien's grave, dude. Someone who hated adaptations of
correct
book media
but
in general and not to have an advisor, like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
lose
then-
it.
Yeah, then there are other failures, like maybe Citadel being a very expensive show that not many people watch. But I'd say the dubs outweigh the L's in this case. But the God of War series could go either way because apparently it's having turbulence in terms of filming and the writing and whatnot. And it'll also depend on who they cast. That's huge. And what part of the God of War franchise it is. There's a lot of question marks with all these movies, but I think it has a little bit of potential. But I don't know how y'all feel about a God of War movie.
they should cast
Show.
Pedro Pascal.
They should cast The Rock. The Rock actually would be way better than Pedro Pascal, actually, if you're talking about the people for that. But yeah, Gears of War. Speaking about Netflix, once again, Gears of War is supposedly having a movie on Netflix. They talked about it a couple of years ago, going through some type of development troubles as well. Dave Bautista is a big fan of Gears of War, and he's been talking about how he wants to be a part of it, or he at least wants something to be told about Gears of War. And Netflix has been on the hush hush on it. So I think a movie could work, but Netflix has me nervous. Like, Gears of War Netflix
Yeah,
movie.
I don't know.
Don't care about this movie.
Development hell is never a good sign.
It's not a good sign. The last time they talked about it was either 2021 or 2022.
I did not really care about Gears of War in general. I played Gears of War 2. I thought it was cool. But like,
yeah,
I
I like Gears of War. I like Gears of War. It'd be hard to butcher it, but it's totally possible. I wouldn't put it past them. We've seen a lot of bad.
Don't say
reviews.
that. They made a non-violent Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, true. But at least that was enjoyable. But yeah, I know what you mean.
You can't have that in Gears though. Sorry.
I know, and then they also butchered Halo. It's like such a simple premise, bro. Yeah. But it's just.
But I just don't care in general. Who cares if it's good or bad?
The last thing we got on my list, or the last thing I have on the list, is a BioShock movie directed by Francis Lawrence, who's known for the Hunger Game franchise, Constantine, I Am Legend, and the upcoming Stephen King book adaptation, The Long Walk. This actually has a lot of potential. I heard this might be going to Netflix. I'm not too sure myself. It is taking a while to get going because they've talked about it for a while. But Francis Lawrence's resume has me a little bit intrigued. He said he is a fan of the game and the material, and that the budget is a little bit smaller than he would have liked, but that's going to help make a more grounded story in the BioShock universe.
Is it a hot take to say that the Hunger Games franchise was carried by 14-year-old high school girls?
No, I don't think so, honestly, because
take, but I don't think it's wrong.
I honestly, I don't know.
I thought the first movie was good, but I did not care.
Yeah, honest. I only liked the first two. I didn't really the last two. I was like, whatever.
I think this is another potential miss, but I'm a big BioShock lore fiend too, so you know what I mean. I'm just probably gonna hate it no matter what.
He did do I Am Legend.
I feel like it's more likely to be well done than bad, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, he did do I Am Legend and Constantine, and The Long Walk looks really good. Worth checking out the trailer if you guys haven't seen it. But this one has a little bit more potential. I think if we were to rank them on the best potential, I think you got Ghost of Tsushima at the top.
Yep.
I'm intrigued about Elden Ring, but that is so up in the air. And
with the BioShock movie, the list you have are all adaptations.
Yeah, right? So maybe that's a positive,
was
right?
A book. I Am Legend was a book. Long Walk was a Stephen King book.
Comic.
Yeah, so maybe.
What are they? I'm only familiar with Hunger Games, and apparently it was a bad adaptation. In hindsight, people are like, it's a bad adaptation.
Yeah, but it did
at the time. You're right. Like the movies kind of elevated the books, you know, because it was like nobody really read them. Not to crap on it.
Yeah.
But then everyone read the books and we're like, these books are awesome. The movies kind of sucked, but I'm glad I know about the book now. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about it.
No, for sure. And he did change up a little bit. Constantine, he's not like the character in the comic, but people did appreciate his take on the character. And the same could be said about I Am Legend. I don't know how close that is to the book, but there have been a couple adaptations. I Am Legend is different, and we have yet to see about The Long Walk. But all of his adaptations have been successful to a certain extent. They are making a Constantine 2 and an I Am Legend 2. So,
yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they doing that with Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith?
Rumor has it. Yep. Rumor has it. But
how is that even gonna work? Okay, we'll see.
Who knows?
Especially with the trial going on right now. Wait, what?
We'll see how all that works out. But yes,
look up the trial related to those names. I'm not gonna name it on the pod.
Yeah, a lot of movies, a lot of movie and show adaptations, a lot of good, a lot of bad that we've talked about. No, gentlemen, I'm glad to have talked about this with you guys. Yeah. It's funny because talking about it, there's a lot more bad than I originally thought, because I knew there's a lot of bad, but I think there is truly some good that has shown.
5 of the 49 movies, we didn't talk about this, but I have it listed. 5 of the 49 movies got above a 60% rating on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes.
And those all came out in like the last few years.
Those are just films. No, overall, all of the films. like this is why I kind of brought up like I'm glad we're starting to
The three of
adapt them
them are
into TV
Sonic.
shows because the TV shows have a better chance of surviving and doing well.
Yeah.
Video game
Yeah.
adaptations as films have just been they've really tainted a lot of our perception of like can this be good or not. So
Yeah, but they can be done. It has been done before. It can be done. Again, I've mentioned this time and time again. It depends on the talent, and it depends if they're qualified, and it depends if they are fans of the work. Right? We've talked about Henry Cavill being a good example. Keanu Reeves being passionate about his work and making sure that it's pretty accurate. Idris Elba, and then we also talked about how Jonathan Nolan, he's a big fan of Fallout, and he's trying to do right by the show. I know that's a show, not a movie, but it just depends. And lately, we've been getting a lot more people that are respectful of the stuff that has come before them. So
you are right about that.
I'm hoping it carries on into these future projects because there's a lot of potential for some of these, especially Ghost of Tsushima. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Best
That
one
is
on the
really
list.
hype. I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of hope for these. Only time will tell, of course. But dude, the podcast, we're gonna have to have a whole separate podcast about video games we'd like to see adapted. I know, Justin, you're not the biggest fan of adaptations, but it'd be cool to be hypothetical and and give our thoughts on some of them. But
Keep my games,
yeah,
video games. Don't touch them. Don't make them movies.
yeah, you're
Seriously.
the old man on the yard. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, I think we're good.
I think I'm good. I think we got a lot of really good stuff. So
Yeah,
Go watch
yeah,
the
this was
Minecraft
def-
movie, JT. You're about to be like,
Oh,
I've
I
never
know.
played the game and I've never seen the movie 20 years from now. You'll be like, I still haven't seen it.
No, I definitely will have to get on it. I definitely will have to get on it, and we'll
and then
we'll
play
have
the
to talk
game,
Look,
about
there's a
please.
chicken
Give
gun.
the game a shot after you watch the movie.
I feel like I would need to. There's just so much to watch and so much to play. But yes, guys, thank you so much for listening. This will definitely be one of our longer podcasts, but I think it was totally worth it. We covered a
Hilarious.
lot of ground, had a
Yeah,
lot
it was
of
good.
passionate takes. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Booyah.